going to speak on a topic which I have here. You can all read. Are you happy? And you might say to me, what a stupid question. I mean, you know, I'm on holidays, I've finished my studies, I've got good results, I'm going to uni next year. It's nearly Christmas, you know. I've got all my family coming round, I'll be getting lots of presents, blah, blah, blah. Eating lots of Christmas pudding, blah, blah, blah.
And she's thinking, I'm lost to a lamb.
On another level, you can walk through the city on any Friday or Saturday night and you can see the pubs filled with people who are looking for happiness. That's what I'm talking about this afternoon. Are you happy? Are you really happy? Like, you might think you're happy, but... So they're all looking, and where are they looking for happiness? They're looking at a bottle, they're looking at the end of a syringe, they're looking at a cone. Or they're looking at having multiple sex partners, or gambling, or accumulating a lot of money. None of these things make you happy, my friend.
I can guarantee that guy's not doing none of them. I'm still not happy. What do I do wrong?
And yes?
I'm not sure that happiness is the main point in life, or where
The pursuit of happiness it is. You always got to choose.
Good point. Yeah.
It's not money to the root of all evil, it's the love of money.
Yeah, that's right. So these people, yes.
Dalai Lama said the meaning of life is to be happy. That's what the Dalai Lama.
Yeah, thanks for that. I think I remember you saying that. And what do people think about that for a statement? Can you say it again?
According to the Dalai Lama, the meaning of life is to be happy.
What do you think about that? Is that an accurate...
well, to be honest, he does not mean that in the vulgar what he was saying. Nonetheless, I would still argue that the meaning of life is
I think that's of myself, I think it's a fairly vacuous statement. Vacuous. It doesn't really mean anything, you know, like... Anyway.
Well, somebody who's hungry is not happy. Someone who's looking at the barrel of a gun is not happy. Someone who's in a communist country can't do what they want to do is not happy.
Right.
So let's take away all the things that are unhappy, and there's not too many things that are undesirable left over that you would say make you happy. Helping other people makes some people happy. So
yes.
is it wrong? Is it wrong to help other people because it makes you happy?
Well, what did Jesus say? Amongst other things. That was the message of Jesus. Jesus went around helping people. He healed the sick.
Like
those who had problems, he spent time with them. Something that we don't have today. People are too time poor, too busy making money. So, of course, at Christmas time, everybody has to pretend that they're desperately happy, you know, like they go along and they meet up with family members that they never speak to for the rest of the year, you know, and they spend lots of money on presents and, you know, and all this, and they think that's the meaning of happiness, and it only happens once a year, so it doesn't really matter, and you can go into debt, but... And of course others are getting so drunk that they're stoned out of their brain, and then they wonder why they can't have an intelligent thought in their mind because they've killed so many brain cells with their drinking.
Okay, Rosie, what makes you happy?
No, I'm not here to talk about myself.
Are you happy, Rosie? So you ask around, are you happy?
Well, actually, okay, I will just briefly answer that. To come here and speak as I do is one of the things that makes me probably the happiest in my life. I've done lots of exciting things like surfing, skiing, motorbike riding, been overseas, I've seen Niagara Falls, done lots of things. But this gives me the greatest happiness. And having you here and all the other people here, to me, it's great. I really enjoy it, you know? Okay, so I ask you, what are you doing this Christmas? The same tired old things you did last Christmas? Go out, get drunk, come home, have sex.
It is the Roman festival back in Adia we're celebrating.
That's right, exactly. I fully acknowledge that.
Yeah, right there.
Absolutely, thank you. That's right. Stuff yourself with Christmas pudding and other stuff that makes you fat. Pigging out on unhealthy food while a quarter of the world's population or half lives in poverty. So in short, is that what you're going to do again this Christmas, the same thing you did last time?
Sat around home and does it?
Or maybe you just veg out in front of Foxtel.
What?
It's been said that watching TV all day sends you on the road to ruin. The same goes for spending half your life on social media, Facebook, sending tweets about nothing important, and constantly checking your emails as if it's going out of fashion, as if the world's going to finish tomorrow.
Which is right.
Right.
Only the underlying philosophy is going to make the best of people's lives.
So I've got no email, no Facebook, no internet,
Connect to God.
don't drink,
I haven't finished yet.
don't do drugs.
You better
so far I
wait,
should
because
be
I've got
having
more to say here. And of course, you might even go to church at Christmas.
Nope.
I'm sure it will make you feel good. You might sing some songs about the baby Jesus. You might see Jesus in the nativity scene, etc., etc. But going to church does not make you a Christian. Let me repeat that. Going to church does not make and has not ever made anybody a Christian. Mr. Business went to church. He never missed a Sunday. Mr. Business went to hell for what he did on Monday. You can go to church as much as you like. But are you prepared to do what Jesus commanded us to do?
You might have been a Catholic, that's the point. The Catholic go straight away. You've got a reservation in heaven.
It's funny when it's precise with the Catholics who don't go straight to heaven.
What's the point of where do you go to? Maybe you go to Buddhist heaven.
Purgatory.
Purgatory, yeah. No, limbo's been cut out of it.
They got you.
No, limbo's been cancelled. Limbo.
Well, as I said, the Bible actually says, I was talking about Jesus a little while ago. The Bible and Jesus actually said that we should expose the works of darkness in this world. And I'm going to list some of them. And these are all the things that are making people unhappy. Gambling, alcohol, addiction to drugs, addictions to sex, addictions to pornography, addictions to money. And it's very interesting that these are the very things that people think that makes them happy, but they have to keep on going back and doing them almost religiously because they're slaves. They become slaves to these things.
So that's off religion, Rosalie. Makes a lot of people desperate about that.
So a lot of people pretend that they're happy when they get drunk, take drugs, engage in inappropriate sex or indulge in pornography. There seems to be something drastically wrong here. The Oxford Dictionary describes being happy as being content with your lot. What makes you happy? Does your happiness have to come out of a bottle or a syringe or a cone or a filthy pornographic bestial sex video? You might think you're happy, but all you're doing is going through the motions of pursuing happiness via your addictions and habitual behaviours. Often what we think makes us happy ends up making us slaves to that thing or person. As I said before, people look for happiness in money, drugs, alcohol, sex, thrill-seeking, gambling, travel, pornography, consumerism. Now I'd like to talk about consumerism, and I'm going to actually quote the Pope, which is something I don't usually do. Pope Francis said in a recent speech, he talked about our throwaway culture. And this is part of the problem, only part of the problem of consumerism. Because you buy something, whatever it is, technology or new fridge or something, it only lasts half as long as it used to. So you've got to go out, you've got to become a consumer. You've almost got to become, not really materialistic, but you've got to follow the consumer culture because you've got to replace that thing that hasn't lasted.
I'm scoring nothing here. I've got a fridge that's 32 years old, and I got it from a dumpster. Where am I going wrong? I don't think I bought anything new for about 5 years.
That's good.
We're talking about Rosalie's probably more emphasis on iPhones, personal computers, iPads.
Electronics. That's the point. That's 99% of the people don't have this problem. Okay, so let's go with the rest
What
of
about the obsessive misuse of one's friends?
Friends?
Obsessive misuse of one's friends.
Gee, that's an interesting one. I hadn't thought about that.
What's that?
Otherwise, we would train this big plastic car.
Oh, that's a very good point, actually, yes.
We did that, we found that out later on.
Yes. Good, very good point. Yes. Idolising, yeah, that's good there, yeah. So our throwaway culture demands that we engage in consumerism.
Did you buy that?
As I said, because most products today are designed to only last a certain time.
You can consume it.
After that, you throw them away and you have to buy new
It'll
ones.
make you happy, didn't it? You've got one bottle of water, pint bottle to make you happy. Does that make you happy? No.
On the other hand, Jesus preached a different type of culture altogether. Jesus was counterculture. He challenged the status quo. So sometimes people cook up these images of Jesus, but really, if you examine what he actually did and said, it actually went against, in many ways, the prevailing culture.
Render unto Caesar that which is Caesar's. Be part of the secular world and the economy.
So I'd like to ask a question this afternoon. Why do people go on taking drugs, gambling, being addicted to alcohol, abusing sex and chasing pleasure?
Get something that applies to
Why?
me.
Why? Eh?
I said, do talk about something that applies to me. We don't have none of these things.
So they can be happy.
They must be reasonably happy.
Because they hope that they'll be happy. But the answer to my question is actually that they are empty inside. We can all be empty inside. You know, we get lonely, whatever. So we reach out either for the bottle of alcohol, or the drug, or people, or technology to fill up the void that's in our hearts and souls. St. Augustine said, our hearts are restless till they find their rest in God. And it's interesting that many people who chase happiness in all the ways I've indicated this afternoon actually end up becoming depressed, especially alcoholics, perhaps for a chemical reason if nothing else, but also might drive all their friends away. And so then when you become depressed, a lot of people then start taking drugs, so it becomes a vicious circle. They take drugs, then they become depressed, and then they have to take drugs to counteract their depression. How stupid is that? Yes? Yes?
One of the problems in society is workaholism. People want to work all the time, right?
Yeah, I support you with that.
Well, I mean, okay, it just doesn't fit into it doesn't fit the paradigm or the notion going on here. It's not self-serving. People get, they're a masochist. People actually take pain on themselves in order to feel good. Probably more so than people that take drugs in some fashion.
So as Christmas approaches, are you going to keep on in your relentless push for pleasure? Or maybe this Christmas you might just decide to take your old Bible off the shelf, open it up and read it. You can read the true story of how Jesus came into this world, and it wasn't on the 25th of December, I can assure you. And maybe you'll just stop for a moment in time and lay aside all your dark habits and addictions and reflect on the man that people are supposed to be thinking about at this time. I'll discuss that with you later. In fact, I challenge you to get hold of the Bible and read it if you've never looked at one. You don't have to tell anybody. Just start looking at the Bible. It says what the Bible says for a change. Instead of listening to your friends, they're probably going to hell anyway. By their own choice. And my conclusion this afternoon is, in the Bible, in the book of Matthew, we have what is called the Beatitudes, where Jesus stood on the mountain and he taught the people, just ordinary people, like yourselves, like me. And Jesus said, happy are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of God.
Blessed are the cheesemakers.
Happy are those that mourn, those that are sorrowful. Happy are those who are humble, not arrogant, lifting themselves up. How good I am, and how much money I have, and how much influence I have in the world.
People, once they read
Happy are those whose greatest desire is to do what God requires. God will satisfy them fully. Happy are the pure in heart. See that? Pure in heart. Not all this filthy pornography that the world has just become so obsessed with. I'm fed up with it. And so is God. The pure in heart, for they will see God. You're never going to see God if you've got your head down looking at all this crap.
And then not only you reach the people here, but you reach
Hang on,
more
though, the
people around
Catholic
the world.
churches, the church have decided that celibacy, anti-sex, no sex,
to your friend and say, have a
is
look
in fact the root of the evil in their church. They're on top of it. So I've got a problem here.
Yeah, okay. Can I just finish, please?
There's a few Muslims embedded it on their website.
And Jesus went on to say, happy are those who work for peace. God will call them his children. Happy are you when people insult you, persecute you, say all sorts of evil things about you, for great is your reward. If you just allow me to finish. So I find it very interesting. I don't remember Jesus saying anything about being rich makes you happy, or having multiple sex partners makes you happy, or getting drunk all the time will make you happy, or watching pornography addictively is going to make you happy, or being a powerful world leader or politician or celebrity or sports person is going to make you happy. In fact, Jesus said the opposite. The poor, the humble, the pure in heart, the peacemakers. These are the people who are truly happy in this world. Are you one of them? Thank you.